visit some brother right on my call. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to talk about Cardi B. There's a whole lot going on with Cardi B. Is she pregnant? Is she with Stephon Diggs? Court case? Anger management issues? English. Those are all the things I'm going to be talking about and addressing in this video. And because of that, I just have to do a check-in of what's going on with Cardi B because all this, and she still has an album to release. Now, there is one video in particular that had made me want to come to do this reading because I'm seeing a trend and a pattern with Cardi B. First, first we know Cardi B has I don't want to label her. So we both know that Cardi B has an attitude problem. Let's put it that way. She is always coming for somebody on Instagram that's coming for her or said something about her. Apparently she cannot take criticism, but I get it. Some people are sensitive out there. Moving right along. So Cardi B comes for people on the internet, but it's just not on the internet. She will come for you physically. Like they say, you can take the street out the girl, but you can get the girl off the streets, but you can't take the streets out the girl. So that's basically the essence of Cardi B. She is no longer an exotic dancer and leaving that street mentality lifestyle, but now she has that mentality and it's ingrained in her and it's in that blood to be a not like a hustler, but you know what I mean, just gangster, always on defense. Cardi B's a Libra. We've talked about this before on News Recap. Please check that out if you haven't already about being an unbalanced Libra. We gave many examples of different celebrities out here to show you what an unbalanced Libra looks like in the different ways that they're unbalanced in their lifestyle. And I always say, even from the personal experiences of Libras I've known in real life, Libras are just I think that Libras come to this, like if your sun sign is a Libra, I feel as though in this lifetime, you're supposed to learn some balance in your life, how to maintain, regulate in this lifetime. That's what I assume, just based off of all the different Libras that I've seen as celebrities, and celebrities are just role models and supposed to be a representation of somebody out there who isn't famous, so that way you have somebody to relate to, somebody to identify with if you don't have somebody like that in your life. So because of that, I just wanted to say that about Libra. So moving on with Cardi B, she's a little unbalanced. So because of that, you don't know what kind of Cardi B you're going to get. You don't know how Cardi B is going to react. Now, because of this, she recently had a court case about clawing or attacking her security guard. And let's just say her court case was quite interesting. But one thing I will say, though, no Cardi B or anything in this situation, because violence is never the answer. But one thing I did notice about Cardi B is that she stuck to her story, no matter how she told it. No matter how she told it, like her mannerisms, her unprofessionalism, just like I said, you can get the girl off the streets, but you can't get the streets out the girl. So, exactly in that courtroom, I was just like, okay, but her story never changed. She stood her 10 toes down. She may have not want to answer some questions, but when it came time to like answer the question, she gave it straight and how she saw it, no matter how it seemed. She's like, this is my truth. I'm speaking my truth. So I praise Cardi B for that. At least she stands strong and standing on business about what she did, even though if it wasn't right. But that's just Cardi B. But during this court case, guess what? She had another violent episode because somebody triggered her for asking about Stephon Diggs. And so because of that, she felt disrespected. She's like, do you see any woman asking me questions about my body and my pregnancy and about my relationships and what I do in the bedroom? She's like, no, so why do you think as you as a man, you can come and approach me as a woman and think you can ask me these kinds of questions? Learn some respect. That's how Cardi B felt. Now, I get it. Those are some old, outdated principles. Never ask a woman how old she is. Never ask a woman what her clothing size is. Never ask a woman how much she weighs. Never ask a woman these kinds of things because it's going to offend them and it's going to be okay. I get it. Cardi B is still living off of those morals, but do we still live those way these days? I mean, we still should, but people don't have sense of boundaries of privacy these days, so anything is on the table. So because of that, that's how Cardi B was feeling, and that's why she attacked somebody literally on court grounds as she's getting ready to get into the car. Had a whole trial about being violent, and guess what? She won the case. She doesn't have to pay $24 million, and she was found guilty in the situation. Yes, the same case where she threw a microphone at somebody. I get it. Cardi B had asked for it by saying, "Splash some water on me. I'm hot." And so because of that, you get what you get. You asked for it. Why are you mad and throwing a microphone at somebody? So somehow she is not found wrong because of that. I think that's where they came from. But still, that was assault. But okay, I guess it's okay. Hey, we're gonna forget and ignore the fact that she had anyway. That just teed me off really much about Cardi B, because I'm just like, guys, if y'all didn't have the proof now, I'm like, the proof is right there in the pudding. I'm like, she didn't even get just walking out of court. But moving right along, that brings us to Stephon Diggs and her pregnancy, where she is playing games with us on social media. Her court outfit, I was like, oh yeah, Cardi B's looking a little bit puff, puff, poof, poof, way she walking down the steps. I'm like, okay, I could believe this woman is pregnant. And then she's gonna expose her outfit and be like, haha, and you look like she's wearing a whole corset, and she's like, I ain't pregnant. And then she gonna post a video today, just a few hours, 10 hours ago is the day of this moment of the recording of this video. So she posted that video with the red hair, showing off her albums, taking it out of her pocket to show that she's not pregnant. And I'm like, okay, Cardi B, but because you keep wearing so many different wigs, we don't know when these videos are being filmed. So you are honestly psychologically tripping us out here, because this could have been pre-recorded, but because you change up your wigs like you change up your clothes, we can't count what day this is and when you recorded this. So is she pregnant? Is she not? I don't know. It's still rumors. So I'm going to read about that and what's going on with her and Stephon Diggs, because here we go again, back to her Billboard video, which is the whole reason why I'm here. Is she had recently done an interview with Billboard. Her personality is still straight. Like I said, Cardi B sticks to her narrative. I don't think she sees anything that she does wrong. So here Cardi B is standing strong, feeling as though that she is undefeated. She's untouchable. She hasn't released a song in 7 years, but she said that she's still been active. But all that to say about her music, I'm going to talk about her music too, because she's also feeling a certain type of way that fans like it, but also don't like it. And she fixates on the haters, which she just talked about. But anyway, what she specifically said in that Billboard interview that got me with my ears perky, outside of her attitude and the way she feels, maybe like a God complex kind of, just saying, not trying to psychologically diagnose her or anything, but that's just the way Cardi B comes off. And it can kind of happen with Libras. But yeah, that's the kind of vibe that I got off from her. And in that video, she was specifically talking about Stephon Diggs, because the reporter, of course, has to ask about Stephon Diggs, and she answered it truthfully, talking about how Stephon Diggs is, I don't want to say great, but has inspired her or has made her want to be like a better person, something like that. So she had great high praises to say about Stephon Diggs. So because of that, I'm like, okay, her and Stephon Diggs apparently must still be dating. And I did check their social medias. They are still following each other. However, they have deleted their official announcement of their relationship. So I don't know why Stephon Diggs only has like 6 pictures on his Instagram, and it has nothing with Cardi B. Of course, Cardi B didn't post any pictures, so I don't know why they're trying to snipe and snub away their relationship. Probably because she's pregnant. But, she's playing games with us on that too. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, all that to be said, I'm here to do a reading on Cardi B because all that's going on. And she still has to worry about an album release this year on the 19th, September 19th. So she has to worry about dropping an album. And when she does this, that's when she's really going to have to go to start doing tours and promotions and tours and going around talking, doing interviews to promote her album. So then that's when we're really going to see, is Cardi B pregnant or not? Because she's been with Stephon Diggs since June. So June, July, we're now in August. Well, we were in August. So from June to July, then July. Are we serious? As I was saying, sorry. It's kind of spotty right now. I am recording just as the thunderstorm is overlaying us. So I was saying that first we had sorry about that, guys. The internet, there's a storm just overpassing us as I'm recording this. So internet must be a bit shoddy trying to get to those satellites. However, what I was saying about Cardi B is just the fact that there's just so much going on with her, the way she deals with Stephon Diggs, and I just want to, and the way she's holding the situation. She has an album to promote. It's been a long time since she's done music, so she has all this going on. She's going to have to start going on a promotion tour, and that's when we're really going to see if she's pregnant or not. So with all that to be said, I just want to see what's going on with Cardi B, because if she is trying to hide a pregnancy, that's a lot of stress to worry about. September 19th, and she's only been dating Stephon Diggs for about a good 2-3 months, from June to July, then July to August, and now August to September. That's going on 3 months that they've been in a relationship, or at least that they've been Instagram official before they made themselves Instagram official. So because of that, I'm just going to pull some cards just to see what's going on with Cardi B and her just energetically, because she's got a lot going on with her, and I just want to check in, see how she's doing mentally, physically, spiritually. And she still got her divorce with her ex-husband. Okay. What wanted to pop out was the Eight of Wands. Not the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about work, 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 work. And I can see Cardi B is all about that. What we see here down at the bottom, Ace of Swords. I like that. I like that. In her past, we have the Father or the King of Swords. Okay, I also like that. I was getting scared there for a second. I was like, I hope we don't have a lot of swords. We have the King or the Father of Pentacles. And let's just see in the future. The Two of Wands. Okay. This is quite interesting, actually. I'm going to pull some outside influences to see what's just going on. Okay. Interesting past. Interesting future. Indeed. So what I see here, just running down in her past, I see the Death card, the King of Swords, and the Six of Wands. Interesting and powerful. That being the only major arcana card too in the past. That's kind of great to see, at least. In her present moment, like I said, we have the Eight of Pentacles, but we also have the King of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Swords, which is also interesting, kind of powerful and strong, but we'll get into that in her present moment. And then we see here in the future the Two of Wands and two daughters. We have the Daughter of Swords and then the Daughter of Cups. So because I see two males in here, the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, I definitely am going to say one is Offset and the other one is Stephon Diggs. But weirdly enough, I see two daughters in here. So I'm not sure if she is pregnant, it's going to be a girl, or if the fact that this is just symbolizing that she has children in her life that she's dealing with. But I digress. This is just a general overview, just looking at it before I dive straight in. So I'm going to start for past, because that's where it is energetically packed. So first, the King of Swords. I'm inclined to believe this has to deal with Offset, mostly because Offset, when it came to Offset, Cardi B had to be strategic in how she was going to maneuver around him or deal with this. After all, she is the one that had filed for divorce, and she is the one that has finally called the shots and said, you know what, I'm finally done with the way you're treating me. So therefore she has grown, she has overcame, and she has evolved as a individual, which is what I see here with the Six of Wands. We see her growing, we see her blossom with this butterfly right here. So she has transformed. Whatever it was with her, and Offset is no longer is. And that's reinforced by the Death card here, which is, so the King of Swords is smushed between two cards, all about ending cycles and transforming into new things. The Death and the Butterfly. Just think about it. The butterfly is first a caterpillar, and then it goes into cocoon, goes into hiding, goes into its like gestation period, however you want to see it. And then it finally comes out of the cocoon as a butterfly, something beautiful. All that pain that it could have gone through transforming, it finally turned into something beautiful, graceful, and elegant. And that's exactly what we're seeing here of Cardi B. That's the attitude she's trying to adopt after moving on from Offset. I'm not sure if it's because Offset just brought the bad out of her, which I don't see how he could. It always seems like it was there, but it just seems like now that she's done with Offset, she wants to change a new leaf. She wants something different. She wants something fresh, entailed by that Devil card. Ending of patterns, but also with the Six of Wands, just trying to move forward. And that's all about the King of Swords energy, but it's masculine energy. So that could be Offset, and this could be her, especially because this is in the past. So she could be strategic, could be cold even. I was thinking, how could I elaborate her coldness? Because I'm just like, is there any example that I can say? I mean, when she's violent, that's masculine, but that's not very king-like, unless this king loses his temper pretty easily. And she does happen to use things that are weapons, like the King of Swords here. But moving into her present moment and what's going on with her at this very moment is that she's got work on her mind, and she's working just on everything. Everything in Cardi B's life has some sort of work that needs to be done, whether that's her career, whether that's her love life, whether that's Offset, whether that's her children, whether that's her album, whether that's her trying to hide her pregnancy, whether that's her trying to have trying to rejuvenate her music career, trying something different, even in the music industry, when it comes to music. So because of that, Cardi B has all of that. I hope you guys heard that, but sorry, like I said about the Wi-Fi, there's all that going on with Cardi B and how she is trying to maneuver this situation in her life, or just this period of time with her life. She feels like she has to put more work and time and energy into everything than she has ever felt before, but she's being meticulous with it. She's being anal with it. She wants it to be perfect, but she's also trying to learn to allow things to flow naturally, that she can't make things improve just because she obsesses over it. So by letting go of the reins, it's able to allow her to take some energy and pressure off of herself. And then through that, she'll be able to perform better as an individual, no matter what it's towards, whether that's letting go of love, whether that's letting go of acceptance, whether that's letting go of trying to appease people, whether that's letting go music, whether that's letting go of whatever it could be. She's learning to just not have a chokehold on it and learn to be, like I said, graceful and elegant, which is exactly what I see here with this Ace of Swords, which is not very graceful and elegant, but it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning. It's a fresh start mentally. However, it is in the foundation, which is usually physical, and in the head area, which is usually airy, is something earthy. And when I see that, especially because the ace is here, all I can say is that whatever new mindset that she's trying to adapt and what she's trying to make manifest in this physical reality, she is standing strong on trying to make things happen for her in the way she needs it, when she needs it. So because of that, it's almost like tapping into the elements, working on the working on how to alchemize things, as they say. And that's exactly what the King of Pentacles is all about. The king of the earth, the king of the material realm. She's thinking, she's like, what can I do? How can I do this? Thinking about her career. How can I get the fans to love me? What can I do? Thinking about how she's going to promote this album and how fans are perceiving her with her pregnancy and Stefan Diggs and rebound energy, getting pregnant by a rebound. What was she thinking? You know, all those judgy things. She has to, weighs on her mental, and she thinks about those things. She has told you guys that she allows you guys to affect her way more than she would like to admit. But also just the fact that even though she tries to act like she talks like a snake with two tongues, you know, she just two-faced. She says one thing but she does another. But then also in the same sentence, if you let her talk, in the same conversation, if you let her talk long enough, she'll somehow contradict herself in the same conversation. So because of that, I noticed that was something with Cardi B. So because that's all, I get it. It's the old way clashing with the new way. That we see her trying to do something different when it comes to her career, her music. Her music is a reflection of her trying something different, of being on a different journey, exploring herself, even exploring her talents. Like she said, I've been working on music. I never left. But also at the same time, it's been a while since I've given you guys something, and I want you guys to appreciate it. So I'm nervous for you guys to accept my baby, and this could be her metaphorical baby in the future. And that's why I could be seeing, moving right on along, like I could be seeing here 2 daughters. We have the daughter of swords and then the daughter of cups, the only type of cups here, and it's in her foundation card. So I'm going to think about that. But looking at here, the two of wands. 2s always symbolizes a coming together, whether that's with you and somebody else, or you with like an external party, like us as an audience, the fans, or it can also symbolize a coming together with yourself, where you've learned to become one and whole with yourself, because you have both negative and positive, light and dark, good and evil within you. So if you can learn to balance the 2 energies within yourself, Libras, when you learn to balance that energy within yourself, you're able to feel whole, you're able to feel connected, you're able to feel a sense of unity and harmony within yourself. And that's exactly what I see with Cardi B, where she is trying to get to, but also at the same time, as I was saying, where she's trying to commit herself to everything, and she's working and trying to change everything in her life. Like they say, if you really want something to change in your physical reality, you got to be willing to do the work and make some change and stop doing the same old patterns. Like I read something, you keep doing the same stuff, but you keep doing nothing. But you, I think it was, you keep doing nothing, expecting something to change, yet nothing changes. And you wonder why, because you're doing nothing, but you're expecting something to change. But if you keep doing the same old patterns, how is that going to change? So you're thinking it's delusional. You're thinking that something's going to change just because you thinking that it's going to change and things are going to get better. You're just like, oh, okay. So I'm just going to stay in the situation. I'm going to just allow what's happening to happen. It's all going to change. It's all going to be good. And Jesus, take the wheel, basically. And then when nothing happens and nothing changes, you're just like, well, what's going on? There's supposed to be change happening. I'm thinking of positive intentions. I'm thinking of good things. Why is good things not coming to me? Are you doing something to change your patterns and your habits? Are you doing something to let in that energy? Good positive thoughts, yes, but we need that action and that physical, mental. We need that. We need it. We need to work in the physical reality in order for things to physically happen. You got to be able to pull down from source and make it like they say, alchemize. You got to be able to transmute. You got to change that energy. Just like us being born, we just came from the universe and energy, but our material body had to be created somehow, or else we wouldn't be here. So that's the kind of way you got to think about it. If you don't do anything in the physical reality to make a change or a difference, something isn't going to change. And I say that about Cardi B because that's what she's trying to attain, some sort of change in her life. Yet we're not seeing that. She still has her anger management issues. We still see the fact that she is trying to lie and maybe cover up the fact that she is pregnant. She's doing all this to do damage control, to change her, to control the way her image looks, something that she is learning and trying to change in this very moment, but she also can't help it. So it's that tug and war balance that she has within herself. The two daughters that I see. And this could, outside of just her being pregnant, this could just daughters or pages are all about being in an infancy stage of that awkwardness, trying to learn and get your footing. So we see here in the swords, and we see here in the cups emotionally, swords intellectually. So her thoughts and emotions, the mind and the heart are kind of syncing up, connected, but also separated and disconnected at the same time. They are sometimes in sync, but they're also not in sync at the same time. But she's learning to get them in sync and make them work together, because when you get your whole body to work together, you can get things done. It's a collaboration. You can't just use one thing. Can't just do one thing just to get something done. And that's what Cardi B is experimenting and learning. Woo! I feel like I'm giving a whole motivational prep talk to somebody out there. I'm sorry if I'm like preaching to you, but somebody needed to hear this message, and I hope it was Cardi B. But if it was you, I'm glad you related to that message. So this is what I see what's going on with Cardi B, that she is trying to do something different in her life, trying to get something different. She's tired of the same old, same old. She's tired of dragging in the same old dudes, the same old guys that hurt her. She wants somebody different. She wants somebody new. She wants fresh energy. You know how it is. You know, when you're going through a rough patch, and you've gone for a rough patch through a while. Like, she gone through a dry spell in her career for 7 years. Yes, she was making music, but to actually make something that was hers, an eclectic album, mind you, her second album, Cardi B, your second album, are we serious? You've only dropped one album in your entire career, and you've been doing a whole lot of singles since? I'm flabbergasted. I am awe-shocked. I can't believe it. I really can't. She has managed to attain this much fame and notoriety with just a single album. And so because of that, this second album is all the more going to improve her discography. So therefore, she wants this album, and to title it Am I the Drama? You know, she's going to address how people see her, maybe what goes on with her in the public. So because of that, there's a whole lot that Cardi B could talk about and address. And Imaginary Players was just a little bit of taste of what maybe her album could be. She says she's doing something different. Her cards are saying that she's trying to do something different. I'm not trying to knock the woman down here. You know, it's change is good. Trying something different is good. Getting out your comfort zone is good. But I have to, the universe needs to see that there's some change. Yes, you can feel the change inward, but that change needs to get out in order for it to work. But I digress. I'm done. Let's see 3 cards just pull the outcome for Cardi B and just everything that's going on around her. Bloodlines. Man, why is that card like a hot tamale? Warm. Okay. And the moon. I like that. Very heavy, very deep, heavy and deep with the moon and the bloodlines. The bloodline, all about legacy. She's trying to leave a legacy. That's what it is. She's trying to leave a legacy. Cardi B has some sort of image about how she wants her name to be, who she is, to go like down in history, kind of. So because of that, she will fight for her image and how she's perceived. She's not going to just let anybody, maybe this could be all about where she's grown, how she has grown up in the past, and that's coming to show in the present moment. Like I said, she was always hard. She was always gangster. So she has that in her. It is in her blood. It's in her DNA. I got DNA. So that's the kind of way that I'm feeling with Cardi B when it comes to just everything that's going on with her, that this is something that's going to take a whole lot of energy to try to change, because it's ingrained in her. It's way more than a habit. It's a lifestyle at this point. So in order to change that, she's going to have to change a lot more and work a little bit harder. With the warm card, though, I'm sorry you guys can't see these oracle cards. The warm card symbolizes good news. So there is going to be something positive coming out of this. All this hard work, everything that she's doing is not going in vain. Maybe we really could see a new Cardi B. Hopefully, this album will give us a fresher sense, a new eyes on Cardi B that we've never had before. So, this second album, How Funny in the Future, the number 2 came out, and I completely forgot that her album, this is her second album that she's releasing, and and since I'm over here talking about some unity and getting connected with the audience, but reconnected with herself, we could see that through coming through in her album when it finally comes out. That could be why she's trying so hard to do some damage control. So that way, when it does come time for the album, we can receive it with an open mind and an open heart. How funny. I was just talking about the Page of Swords, open mind, and the Page of Cups, open heart. Talking about that too, right in between those two. How funny, right? And then we see here with the moon, talking about the phases. Cardi B is just going through a phase right now. Honestly, this is really good. I actually really enjoyed this. This made me feel a lot more hopeful about Cardi B, because at first I was just like, Cardi B, it's kind of like the girl who cried wolf here. When are we going to see some real change from you? But it's coming. It's coming, guys. And maybe the album's going to be that last puzzle piece that's finally going to put it all into perspective for us about Cardi B and what's going on with her mindset, her mental. It maybe if it's the same old zhuzh that she's been giving us, WAP, like that kind of zhuzh talking about good sex, eat me out. If it's something like that, it's still Cardi B. Or if she could bring us something different, talking about heartbreak, talking about getting over an ex or a lover, and it's not about going outside and getting your rocks off and you just go on a strut like it's hot girl summer and it's 95 degrees. I ain't got no and no ain't got me. That's what she's got. That's what she's giving. That's what Cardi B is giving with outside and how she's feeling right now. So I'm like, if her album can give us something different outside of that, what she usually gives us, or the vibes, then it's going to go uphill for Cardi B, because it will definitely bring a change of heart to the audience about how fans view her. And honestly, it will be giving us something authentic and real coming from Cardi B. And I don't think that's something we get from her often. So because of that, that would be really good. Just thinking about all the ways she could elevate and level up her career. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Cardi B. I sure did. It's a phase. So I'm just trying to figure out what the next phase of her life could be once the album comes out, or honestly, once the album comes out, what's the next phase of her life? Because now that that's done, that's something that she's been working on in the background. So it's all this energy that has been put into the album. Once you finally release it, once you finally break off from Offset, once you finally, I don't know, admit that you're pregnant, what now? What's next? What does Cardi B do? So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed that. I sure did. It's still, the book is still open, but it's hopeful. I'm enjoying the future. Nothing. I mean, she could go down from here, but the way I'm feeling, then the way the cards are looking, because I really don't see anything heavy except for the death card, but that was in the past. So that's something that she has moved on and forward from. And we're seeing the remnants of that energy, that death that she experienced, whether that's the death of a relationship, whether that's the death of old habits that she's trying to change. So that way she can bring in this new life and energy into her, and bring this new energy into her life. There we go. So because of that, it's not going to look good. It's messy, but that's energy work, and that's just life. Things don't always come out clean and neatly as you expected. So sometimes it's got to get messy. Sometimes things just got to crumble just for it to get built back up more beautifully and put more time and energy, or even have it's better, solid foundation for it to stand on. So that way you don't have to rebuild again in the future. So that's all I can say about Cardi B, and every way I can summarize this for her. Like I said, I don't see anything wrong with this reading or what's going on around her, no matter how much attitude I might have sounded giving this reading, no matter how enthusiastic I may have sounded, and maybe even a little bit judgy with Cardi B. I see that it is positive for Cardi B. And with that being said, that's all I can say. And make sure I had drilled that in with you guys before I say, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It will really mean a lot to the channel. We would really appreciate it, please. And thank you. It really means a lot. And share this video with anybody that's into Cardi B, who's into news with tarot, who's into the esoteric, who's into knowing what's going on in the news, in the world. And wow, English today. Share this with anybody that likes to know what's going on in the world around them, as well as pop celebrity news. Wow, the more I keep talking, the more I keep butchering that sentence. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give this a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. And subscribe, share, all that beautiful stuff to show YouTube that you appreciate our content, you enjoy it, and get us in that algorithm. With that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers.